You're going to find business size envelopes, number 10s, number 9s, like letters go into, very readily available, some large catalog sizes. And then in with invitations and that sort of thing, some basic announcement sizes like an A7 or an A6, you're going to find probably pretty readily available locally in white, maybe an off-white. So if you want a color, you want an unusual size, anything like that, you need to determine that up front, because you're going to need to do some work then to find out how you're going to get it. It may be available at the mill. It may be available through a manufacturing facility like our envelope converting services, or it may be available through your printer. So you got to figure that out, and then you design your piece to fit the envelope.
Envelopes for small projects are always a challenge. Luckily for a lot of the printers in our market is that WCPE has all the capabilities to do smaller runs of custom color envelopes. Basically, any of the papers that we stock or can buy through any of our manufacturers can be converted into an envelope. There's basic envelope sizes for announcements and business size envelopes. WCPE has most all of the dies that you would need for creating a custom package for a client. Everything from an A2 size to an A9. The substrates can be from classic crest, your basic solar white, to something really fun and colorful like an Astro Bright, fuchsia pink. We also do a lot of converting of specialty papers for catalogs and booklets that are larger size envelopes. But I always recommend, if it's something quick turn, you should always look at our website, WCP Solutions, for our collections of sizes that we already have stocked. And a great go-to is classic crest, like I mentioned. For color, we stock a lot of the Royal Sundance fiber colors. And some of the Astro Bright colors for something bright and fun as well. But you can always bring WCPE into the loop, and we can help create a really cool package that will have an outstanding envelope.
You can do some really interesting effects outside of just a standard letter fold or folding something in half. There's a great resource called foldfactory.com, and she is highlighting some really creative ways to create an interesting construction to your piece. It can create a different interaction between you and the end audience. There's just a lot of creativity that can go into it. And here again, there could be some structural considerations, whether it's with the paper, how it needs to be scored, how it needs to run through the press, because grain direction could be very important to how it actually appears once it's folded. So all of those things need to be planned up front. In general, white paper is going to be easier to find. And 80-pound cover, 100-pound cover, 80-pound book, 100-pound book, those are the weights you're going to find more readily in any grade that comes in text and cover weights. So after that, once you start getting into colors and textures and different weights, you're going to need to see A, if it's manufactured by the mill, and B, if you can get it from the mill. We do offer a wider selection than a lot of paper merchants do as far as textures and colors, but we may not have 20,000 sheets of 100-pound red on our floor. We might have 500 or 5,000, but maybe not everything that you need. So a couple of things to consider. If it's an item we stock, we can order it for you, get it in about a week, or your printer can order just the amount of paper that you need typically, because we have it in stock. If it's a lot of paper, or it's something that we don't stock, you're going to have to buy it in full carton increments, and that's determined by what the mill manufactures. The manufacturers of paper, they've got equipment that they're running the paper on. And so they run the paper in a certain order. They start with the brightest white and the lightest weight. They make that sheet in the heaviest weight they make. They add a little bit of dye. They make the next darkest color. And in the end of the whole process of their production runs, they run the darkest color they make, which could be black and the heaviest weight. They clean the paper machine, and then they start over. So if there's been a run on that particular shade of red, you may actually have a longer lead time than just a week, because they may need to actually replenish their mill inventory. So it is always doable, but it may take more time than your particular project requires, or you just need to make sure that you're doing some planning up front so that you've got it available.